You hear the term AI thrown around everywhere, right? But what does it actually mean? Well, forget all the complicated jargon and the crazy sci-fi movies for a minute. Today, we are going to break down artificial intelligence into one super simple idea. And to kick things off, I want you to imagine something kind of weird.
What if your bicycle could actually talk? And I don't mean just a squeaky chain or a bell. I mean, what if it could actually speak to you? Give you advice? Sounds like something out of a fairy tale, doesn't it? Well, let's just run with that idea for a second.
So let's imagine this boy, Arjun. He's just riding his old bike to school, same route he takes every single day. But on this particular morning, his boring old routine is about to get interrupted by something, well, something pretty much impossible.
All of a sudden, he hears a voice. It's his bicycle. It says, "Arjun, your road is slippery today. Slow down." And a second later, it warns him that his tire pressure is low. Arjun, you can imagine, is completely floored. I mean, how on earth could his bike possibly know these things?
So what's the secret? Is it magic? Nope. It's actually all about learning. See, over hundreds and hundreds of rides, the bicycle began to notice things, patterns. It figured out that a certain kind of vibration meant the road was slippery, that a tiny wobble meant a tire was getting low. It was learning to connect cause and effect, all on its own.
And right there, that's the big idea. This smart talking bicycle is the perfect metaphor for artificial intelligence. AI is all about taking an ordinary thing, whether it's an object or a computer program, and giving it the ability to get smarter by learning from experience. Okay, so keeping that talking bicycle in your mind, let's dive into our first section and put a real definition on this. So what exactly is artificial intelligence?
At its simplest, here it is. Artificial intelligence is when a machine learns to think, kind of like a human. Now, the goal isn't to be human, but to simulate the way we humans learn, the way we spot patterns, and the way we make decisions.
So how does an AI actually think? Well, it usually comes down to a simple three-step process. First, it learns from a ton of data. That could be millions of pictures, thousands of books, or in our bike example, every mile Arjun ever rode. Second, it finds the hidden patterns and connections in all that data. And finally, it uses those patterns to make a smart decision or a prediction. Learn, understand, decide. That's the loop. You know, a really great way to picture it is this. Imagine a student who is ridiculously fast. A student who could absorb millions of books at once and, get this, never ever forgets a single thing they've learned. That's the kind of power we're really talking about with AI. Okay, so we've got a handle on what AI is. But the bigger question is, why do we even need it? What's the point? Let's get into the real reasons this matters so much.
It really comes down to four huge advantages. First up, scale. Our world today runs on these massive amounts of data that no human brain could ever sort through, but an AI can. Second, endurance. An AI can just keep working 24/7 without ever getting tired or needing a coffee break. Third, it helps us tackle these giant, complex problems like predicting hurricanes or discovering new medicines. And finally, speed. For you and me, this means tasks that used to take hours can now be done in just a couple of minutes.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a little bit like a movie, something for the distant future. But here's the thing. AI isn't coming. It's already here. In fact, it's woven into the technology you use every single day.
Just think about your day. That next video YouTube suggests for you, that's AI. The faster route Google Maps finds to get you home, avoiding all that traffic? Yep, AI again. The answer you get from ChatGPT, the movie Netflix knows you'll love, the way your phone camera magically finds all the faces in a photo, the collision warning in a new car. That is all AI working behind the scenes. So here's the big takeaway for this part. AI isn't some single giant thing. It's more like a quiet partner that's already part of our world, making our lives a little easier and more efficient, often without us even realizing it's there. All right, so that's the picture today. But what about tomorrow? Where is all of this heading? Let's take a little peek into the future with AI. Let's look at a quick timeline. Right now, today, AI is mostly about recommendations. Now look ahead just 5 years. We're probably going to see things like personal AI tutors for every single student. And then, within the next 10 years, that's when things like self-driving cars will probably become a totally normal sight on our roads. Of course, this brings up the one question everybody asks. Is AI going to take my job? And you know what? This quote really hits the nail on the head. The threat isn't the AI itself.
The real shift is that people who learn how to use AI will have a huge advantage over people who don't. It's a powerful new tool, and like any tool, it empowers the people who master it.
And that right there brings us to maybe the most important idea of this entire explainer. Learning to use AI right now is almost exactly like learning how to use a personal computer back in 1995. Think about it. The people who jumped in early and figured that technology out, they gained a massive advantage. We are at that exact same kind of turning point right now.
So I'm going to leave you with one final question. I want you to really imagine it's 1995. This newfangled invention, the personal computer, is starting to appear in offices and homes. The choice is yours. Are you going to learn how to use it